Hello, I'm Nitro, slower than an Arcturan Mega Donkey 9, and today we are here with episode 2 of my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text adventure series. So here we are. Just as a reminder for you, this game may look big on your screen. It's because I've enlarged it in OBS. As I play this, I am squinting at quite a small DOSBox emulator window. So if I'm misspelling things or I'm not reading things perfectly, it's because I'm squinting. And we've restored my save file from last time. We are in front of the house, lying down. Forward Prefect is here. We've attracted him. We've got him to stay. Mr. Prosser from the local council is standing on the other side of the bulldozer. He seems to be wearing a digital watch. So what do we do? I need to click the window so I can enter text. Talk to Ford. Ford Prefect looks at you expectantly, as if you seem to be about to talk. What do we... Let's talk to him directly. Ford, my house. Oh. My house is about to be... This is probably showing my inexperience with text adventure games. What do you want to do to the house? What do they mean? What do you want to do to the house? Don't be demolished. Oh. We're adding loads of moves here. Ask Ford for help. Ask Ford to help me. Oh, nearly 2.5 minutes in and a bit of a non-starter today. What do you want to ask Ford about? Why are they... What are you here for? That's what... Okay. Mr. Prostitute makes you as if you seem to be about to talk. Let's ask for another hint. Help on the earth. What should I... Oh, I've only got one hint left. Ford, what about... Oh, you have to do a direct quote. Okay. Ford, busy talking to Prosser, ignores you. Let's do it again. Shit, I can't remember the direct quotes. What's it? Let's just stay still. Time passes. Ford and Prosser stop talking and approach you. Ford says that Prosser has agreed to lie in your place so that the two of you can go off to the pub. Reluctantly, Prosser steps forward and lies down in front of the bulldozer. You stand up. Ah yes, the classic. Let's save here. But just in case we've done something wrong, we won't change our original save file. This is Nitr09.sav. Okay. Go with Ford. This game can't recognise many sentences at all, can it? Follow Ford. Okay. Go to pub. Okay. Ford, urging you to follow, hurries toward the country lane. Let's follow. Ford. Okay. Country Lane. The road runs from your home to the north towards the village pub to the west. Ford Prefect is here. Come along, Arthur, says Ford impatiently, and enters the pub. Whoa. Pub. The pub is pleasant and cheerful, and full of pleasant and cheerful people who don't know they've got about 12 minutes to live, and are therefore having a spot of lunch. Some music is playing on an old jukebox. The exit is east. Ford Prefect is here. There is a barman serving at the bar. Behind the bar is a shelf. It is full of the sorts of items you find on shelves behind bars and pubs. Ford buys a lot of beer and offers half to you. Muscle relaxant, he says, impenetrably. Let's save again. Nitr09.sav. Yes. Okay. Drink beer. It's very good beer, brewed by a small local company. You particularly like its flavour, which is why you woke up feeling so wretched this morning. You were at somebody's birthday party here in the pub last night. You begin to relax and enjoy yourself. So when Ford mentions that he's from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Beetlejuice, and not from Guildford as he usually claims, you take it in your stride and say, "Oh yes, which part?" Just drink some more beer. It is really pleasant stuff, with a very good dry nutty flavour, some light froth on the top, and a deep colour. It is exactly room temperature. Ugh. You reflect that the world cannot be all bad when there are such pleasures in it. Well, maybe for Arthur, not for me. I don't like beer. Ford mentions that the world is going to end in about 12 minutes. What can we do about that? Go on, drinking, might as well. Lots of beer. There is a distant crash which Ford explains is nothing to worry about. Probably just your house being knocked down. Oh. Let's save here again. Nitr09.sav. Okay. Oh. This game's not very smart, is it? Can't recognise many words. Drink some more beer. No. Don't you need to eat? In the radio series, you need to eat peanuts because the salt, when you use the electronic teleporting thumb, the salt cushions your system or something. Eat peanuts. The barman snaps, hands off until you pay for it. Do I have any money? Ask for money. Ask Ford for... I know he steals the peanut. Talk to Ford. Ford Prefect looks at you expectantly, as if you seem to be about to talk. Steal peanuts. Oh, this game doesn't know the word steal. Oh, 29 moves in, a score of 25. Well, better than our last score. Last time we died in the first episode, we had a score of 10. So we've earned some more points. The world is about to end. Why is the world about to end? Just drink some more beer. It's progressing the story. You can hear the muffled noise of your home being demolished, and the taste of the beer sours in your mouth. You get drunk and have a terrific time for 12 minutes. Of the life and soul of the pub, tell some really great stories, make everyone laugh a lot, and they all clap you on the back and tell you what a great chap you are, and then the earth gets unexpectedly demolished. You wake up with a hangover which lasts for all eternity. Oh well, let's get our score. Let's just restore. We get 30 out of 400 in 29 turns. Okay. Drink beer. Nope, just died immediately again. Yes. do we do now? Leave pub. You see the huge bulldozer heaving itself among the cloud of brick dust, which is all that remains of your home. As you start up the lane, a small dog runs up towards you, yapping. Ford hurries after you. Talk to Ford. Ford, my home. Is that? Leave. East. The dog carries on yapping for a moment and then gulps uncomfortably. Pet the dog. The dog tries to bite your hand. Pet the dog. I'm gonna pet this dog. Pet the dog. Oh, run from dog. I'm going off the rails a bit here. Oh. Let's just restore. I don't think we've done this right. Ask for the planet. The Earth is yes, this is my naivety with text adventure games. Help. Don't think I have any hints left. Back to the story. Peanuts. No. Find peanuts. Buy peanuts. However much you clear your throat, wave your forefinger or wiggle your eyebrows, the barman pays no attention, but carries on wiping another part of the bar. Or call barman. Not on the phone, just talk to barman. The barman looks at you expectantly, as if you seem to be about to talk. Ask for peanuts. Get peanuts. Barman snaps, hands off until you pay for it. Pay for peanuts. Yeah, so he's snapping at me when I'm trying to take them, but he ignores me when I try to buy them legitimately. Not a very good establishment he's running here. Am I gonna have to sneakily look at hints on the internet? Back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to try something. Ask the barman for a sandwich. I looked on the BBC Hints website. The barman gives you a cheese sandwich. The bread is like the stuff that stereos come packed in. The cheese would be great for rubbing out spelling mistakes, and the margarine and pickle have performed an edifying chemical reaction to produce something that shouldn't be, but is turquoise. Since it is clearly unfit for human consumption, you are grateful to be charged only £1 for it. Wow. Okay. So we have the... Just eat it. It is one of the least rewarding taste experiences you can recall. Talk to Ford. Okay. Ford is still... We've eaten the sandwich. I don't want to be too reliant on the website. It feels a bit cheaty. We've eaten the sandwich. Oh, back in a mo again. I'm gonna try not to make a habit of this. Okay, the hints website on there's like a BBC website where you can play the game. The hints website I think is written to be deliberately unhelpful, but leave pub with Ford. to Ford. Ford. This is not the most interesting episode in the world. Go back to house. Oh. Leave pub. Forward after you. Is Prosser still there? Find Prosser. Am I going to have to seriously go back to the hints website for a third time? I may be stupid. Back in a mo. Okay, let's try something. Okay. Survey the rubble. Okay, the hints website is being deliberately unhelpful. Okay. Wait. Okay. Examine dog. The mongrel. Oh! Okay. I'm not supposed to eat the cheese sandwich myself. I'm supposed to feed the cheese sandwich to the dog. Okay, now we have to restore the save. Yes. Ask for sandwich. Ask the barman for a sandwich. Okay, we've got the sandwich. Hooray! Leave pub. Okay. Examine dog. Give sandwich to dog. The dog is deeply moved. With powerful sweeps of its tail, it indicates that it regards this cheese sandwich as one of the great cheese sandwiches. 9 out of 10 pet owners could happen by this at any point, expressing any preference they please, but this dog would spurn both of them and all of their tins. This is a dog which has met its main sandwich, eats with passion, and ignores a passing microscopic space fleet. Okay, sorry, I don't think I read that correctly. I'm squinting at a very small window. It looks big on the video. It's small for me. Okay. Let's just say okay. Yeah, I'm rather positive now because I figured it out. Look at rubble. The rubble of my house. Oh, I can't see any rubble here. Examine brick dust. Talk to Ford. Ford Prefect looks at me expectantly again. Nearly 20 minutes in and we've done basically nothing this episode. Let's save now we've done this. Okay. Stay. Time passes. Time passes. Oh. Back to the hints website for one more time, and I'm nearly gonna call it a day now. Okay, let's try something. Pet the dog. Dog tries to bite. I gave him a sandwich and he bites me. I gave him a sandwich and he bites me. I fed the dog a sandwich. Back to the hints website we go. Okay. Go. Okay. Go north. Yeah. You've reached the site of what was your home. It is now a pile of rubble. Mr. Prosser looks sheepishly triumphant, a trick few people can do, as it requires a lot of technically complex deltoid muscle work. Mr. Prosser, from the local council, is standing on the other side of the bulldozer. He seems to be wearing a digital watch. Ford hurries after you. You muck up all his fancy facial work. This is the last moment of satisfaction you will experience for stunned time. Stay. With a noise like a cross between Led Zeppelin's farewell concert and the exception of Krakatoa, a huge fleet of Vogon construction ships rise overhead and announces that the Earth will be demolished to make way for a new hyperspace bypass in 2 of your Earth minutes. In all the turmoil, you drop the thing your aunt gave you, which you don't know what it is, and it rolls away. It is the least of your worries. Anyway, you've been trying to get rid of it for years. Let's save here. Yes. Pick up thing. Find thing. The vast yellow ships thunder across the sky, spreading waves of terror and panic in their wake. The voice of the Vogon captain slams across the country, insisting that the planning charts and demolition orders have been available at the local planning office in Upper Centauri for 50 years, and it's too late to start making a fuss about it now. Throughout the noise, Ford is shouting at you. He removes a small device from his satchel, but accidentally drops it at your feet. Pick up device. Fierce gales across the land. Thunder bangs continuously throughout the air in the wake of the giant ships. Ford fights to reach you, but the wind is too fierce. Further announcements from the Vogon captain make it clear that the demolition will begin in just a few seconds. Through the blinding rain, you see lights flickering on the small device. Use device. It doesn't know the word use. How can I press device? Pushing the electronic sub-ether signal in the device doesn't do anything. We've saved, so give device to Ford. You can't reach him in this wind. The Earth is destroyed by the fleet of Vogon constructor ships. You have died. 25 again. Restore. Yes. Hit processor. Yes, we've pick up device. Oh, so we can't give the device to Ford because it's too windy. You see lights flickering. Press lights on. Oh, no, let's try hold up device. Useless, utterly useless. Oh. 22 minutes. Back to the hint website we go. Okay, we have to specifically press the green button. Lights whirl sickeningly around your head. The ground arcs away beneath your feet, and every atom of your being is scrambled, an experience you're probably going to have to get used to. You're in dark. Okay, we appear to have made it somewhere. We are now 23 minutes in, so that will be the end of our Hitchhiker's experience today. I have been your host, Nitr09. Hopefully we won't be so reliant on the hints websites in future. If this is content you enjoy, I usually say don't like, don't subscribe. If this is something you want to see more of, let me know that it is something you want to see more of. Yes, goodbye, we'll see you again soon.